Welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate Matters here on the Money Matters Radio Network. I'm your host, Bob Gallagher with Ross Mortgage. With me in studio today, my co-host, as always, Peter T. DeMore Sr. Pete, how you doing?
Good, Bob. Good.
And
I'm real excited today.
We have great guests today. We have a team from Gibson Sotheby's International Realty. Robyn Olson and Linda Buckland. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thrilled to be here.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Oh, you hear the applause in the studio and everything.
On tax day as well.
I know.
Isn't that
it's exciting,
wonderful?
isn't it?
And Holy Week.
Yeah, it's a crazy busy week, isn't it? So we invited you here to the show this week because we want to hear about how you got into real estate and about the market you serve. So why don't we start off with talking about how you guys ended up teaming up? You've been together for what, 9 years now?
9 years, 2005.
Robyn, 9 years. Wow.
Crazy how fast it goes by.
It's almost a decade.
It
Yikes.
And we still love each other, too.
We do. Actually, it's like husband and wife. We're together more than our spouses, right?
We are.
Yeah.
Which probably makes you guys very happy.
We have a good time together.
That's good.
And our husbands, too.
That's great. That's great. So the areas you guys serve, Norfolk County, but you have you specialize in what, the Foxborough?
My hometown is Foxborough, and neighboring communities, Sharon, and Linda lives in. Go ahead, Linda.
I live in Walpole and Westwood, Needham, Newton. We go from probably Newton south off the 128 belt.
It's a very nice area.
It
better
is.
believe
A lot of nice starter homes in the $100,000 range in those areas.
Not so much.
No.
Maybe
Yeah.
30 years
No, I
ago
meant if
when
you
I was
wanted to
in
live
the
in a
industry.
shed. In a shed, you could probably get for $100,000.
No, you
A
do.
shed on Route 9 at a traffic light, you could probably get that for $100,000.
Yeah, still on the truck.
Yeah, still on the truck. Yeah.
How does it work? You know something? You're the first team we've ever had on.
Okay.
So we're really excited about this today.
Thank you.
How does that work when somebody calls? Who gets the call?
We share everything.
Okay.
There's no tit for tat. We've discovered each other's strengths, and we enhance each other's strengths, and we lift each other up. And she's an expert stager, which is so critical in preparing your home to sell. And funny enough, I started this industry, I'm really dating myself, close to 30 years ago. And you decluttered and so forth, but because of the internet and photography, it is such a key ingredient that Linda brings to the table with her talent and her eye for taking space and just showcasing it to the best of its ability.
Right, and
so take over, Linda, because that's your talent.
Listen, thank you, Robyn. Linda, do you have anything nice to say about Robyn?
I mean, you kind of have to now, don't you?
Oh,
You're kind of really stuck
She
now.
really built me up, huh?
Yeah.
That's your gift. You're talented.
You know, Robyn is a matchmaker. What I mean by that is when dealing with buyer and seller, you have to be a great communicator. You have to, the nuances of this business, the paperwork, the details, and bringing parties together. And I must say, that is Robyn's true strength. And people love her. After the deal is over, the referrals we get when we service people over and over and over. We're working with the same people that she worked with 30 years ago. So that's a testament to her ability and how kind and just how proficient she is in this real estate.
And that's a testament to what both of you do, because on average, I think the national average is that only about 25 to 30% of people that actually sell their houses go with the same realtor that they used to buy it. So the fact that you guys have got 30 years worth of referrals coming your way speaks volumes about the job that you do.
And not only that, that's a really great point, because not only that, it's very interesting what's happened throughout the years with us. And that is all of our business right now is referral based. So after we work with the client, they in turn recommend us to their neighbor, to their son, their daughter, their grandmother. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Right.
So that's a wonderful, wonderful way to build your business, and we've been very fortunate in that respect.
And let me just cut in for a second.
Yes.
In case the audience is just starting to tune in right now.
Okay.
We have Team Linda and Robyn on the show with us right now. Linda Buckland and Robyn Olson of Gibson Sotheby's International Realty in Westwood. If you'd like to talk to them about listing your house or about buying a home,
okay,
you can call them at 508-543-0036. Again, it's 508-543-0036. And they're about to launch a new website. It's called stagetosellformore.com. That's all letters, no numbers. It confused the heck out of me the first time because I always want to write the numbers instead of the letters, but it's stagetosellformore.com. And you guys going to be launching that in, the next few weeks or so?
Yes, correct. Because in this real estate environment, we cannot impress upon the audience today how imperative it is to showcase your home in the best possible light. And it's not very simple because people get a little bit overwhelmed about decluttering, moving furniture, storing things, but it will truly make a difference. And staging is all about the opening up the space and having a nice flow in the home so that the prospective buyer can envision their own belongings in the home that's being sold.
Right.
And it's really critical for us not to compromise ourselves in that arena. I mean, we have people that are ready for us to put up that for sale sign, sign the paperwork, and get the ball rolling. And we know in our heart and soul we are doing them the biggest disservice to just rush it, to rush the process. You cannot rush the process. This is your biggest investment. You need to take the time and set the stage, set the table properly. It's worth it. You'll get the better return in the long run. And we know, again, you don't want to chase the market down.
Right.
So it's so important that when you put your home in the market, that you're paying attention to all the aspects of it. Fortunately, the communities we service in have great location with proximity to Providence, Rhode Island, and to Boston. A lot of the towns have T stations. So we have location. Then you have to think about preparing your house for condition. Condition is so critical, again, because of the photography that's done and then it being showcased out there in the internet. People buy with their eyes and they want to eliminate properties to look at. So they're going to be intrigued by the photography that's done.
So bad pictures will just get your property eliminated,
and
right?
It really breaks my heart when I see garage doors open and toilet seats lifted up because it's really not giving that first proper impression, that first impression. So location, condition, and price. So critical that you don't have the perception of, we'll start high and we can always work our way down.
You know what? I would like you to talk a little bit about that because that's something that you hear from a lot of sellers. They figure, well, what's the problem? I mean, so what if you're saying my house is really only worth $400? I think it's worth $480. Why can't we just start there? Tell us a little bit about what happens when you do something like that.
Well, you know what? That's a really great question, Bob, because if you match the price with the expectation of the buyer when they first walk into that home. So in other words, the price needs to match what they're viewing.
Right.
And if that price point looks good and they're viewing this home that you just staged, I guarantee you will get asking or over asking because over and over and over for the past, I would say 2.5 years, when we really focused in on the staging of homes, we have been getting asking and over asking.
Wow.
And this is in markets that weren't low inventory markets like we are here today.
Right. That's a very good point.
Yes. In fact, there's a home in particular, time and time again. Actually, I'm thinking of 2 properties that we had last year. One had been on the market for 5 years.
5 years?
5 years.
Wow.
On and off with different agents. It had a stigma. It had a history of tenants. And we saw the potential with this property because of the room sizes, the square footage. We took a personal interest. We knew that the family was living in another country. And because they had been referred by us, they trusted us emphatically. So we took probably 50 pictures of the interior of the home and all the things we recommended. And we had a budget. We hired somebody to go in there, give it a facelift with painting. We personally, this is a little bit much, but we did. She brought in personal furnishings from her home. I brought things in from our home.
Our staging items.
Our staging items. We did this ourselves. And at that open house, we secured multiple offers at asking price, and we got the job done.
Mm-hmm.
And
where others had failed continuously for 5 years.
Yes, it's all in preparation. And I don't want to jinx ourselves, so I got to always knock on wood.
But one other thing I'd like to say about that, it's also the staging, but then Gibson Sotheby's. The marketing is phenomenal. So there's a whole strategy behind when we first market a home where it starts with the staging. Then we have a professional photographer on staff. We campaign the property with signage, ads, broker tour, YouTube video, email blasts, and no buyer can view the home until that first open house. So what that does for the seller, it creates this pent up demand and this whole marketing blitz in so many different venues that enable us to have, 75 people with extended family. There were over 150 people in this home at the open house. We had multiple offers, and that's why we get the job done.
Right.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Can you tell us a little bit about the areas you serve? Like, are you predominantly dealing with move-up buyers, or people are downsizing, or a combination of all of them, or what is it in particular?
It really is a combination of both, and most recently it's been selling maybe the $5 to $1 million home, and they're downsizing. And so they're looking for a condo or a 55 and older. But we also, we also work in the $350,000 range. We don't discriminate on price because, and actually something that I want to point out, Robyn, Robyn and I won an award. We had the most sales in our office.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And those sales ranged in, from 300,000 all the way to over $1 million. Oh, 2 million. 2 million. That's right. So again, we're just so focused on helping people, and we know we can help people because we're so good at what we do.
That's exciting.
You can tell you have such a passion.
Thank you.
The way you talk about what you do and how you do it. You have that passion that is just overwhelming. I can't believe that buyers and sellers that come to you don't say, hey, these are the people I want doing my job.
Yeah. I think they do. I think that's why you guys, you won the award. You sold the most in your office. And again, congratulations.
And the other thing that I would really like to point out, that, that's just one aspect of, that's setting the stage so that you're going to get the most money you can. But that's when Robyn truly comes in, and this is where she shines as a real estate agent, because what's involved from the moment that you have an accepted offer to closing is just amazing. And so I'd like Robyn to talk a little bit more about that, because I think it is really
putting
important.
Me on the spot here. No, all I can do is really just cite examples, and there is an art to it. And I know everybody has the opportunity to sell their home themselves. And in fact, we've helped people in that respect as well. But I'll tell you, it's not always about the commission. And having the two of us, we tend to actually generate more net proceeds for our seller when they do hire us. And for instance, like Linda was saying, last open house we had 72 registered people, and we had multiple offers. And then you really need to sit down with that seller and dissect which is the best fit buyer for them and who's going to get to the finish line. And it's not always about price. It's also about terms. And so basically there's an art to that. There sincerely is, because anything can happen. And you're never done until you're at that closing table and money's being exchanged and the deed is being recorded. So it's very important that you balance relationships. It's truly all about relationships. And, keeping all the different agents that have submitted multiple offers on the property engaged, because somebody's feelings are going to get hurt, and it is painful. And you can never have that ego. You have to just, really work in the interest of the transaction and not yourself. I mean, there's been plenty of times where I've had a direct buyer, but my buyer wasn't the best fit. Yeah, did it mean more money in my pocket at the end of the day? But that's not what it's about. It's about, the money in the pocket of the seller who has, put a lot of money into that property and improvements and into paying the taxes on it. That's their equity, and we want to help them get as much out of it as possible. And so that's basically it. Just the art of keeping good relationships start to finish.
Right.
It's very, very important, because if something goes down the wrong path, you have to be able to, make that phone call to that other broker and get things back on track again. So
that's interesting. That's interesting stuff, Robyn. And if you're just tuning in now and you're thinking about buying or selling anywhere in the Norfolk County area, with particular attention paid to, Westwood down to Needham and Foxborough and the surrounding areas, you can give Linda and Robyn a call at 508-543-0036. Again, it's 508-543-0036. We're going to take a break for a couple of minutes for commercials. We'll be back with more from Linda and Robyn of Gibson Sotheby's International Realty in Westwood, Mass. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this.